everyone, so this video is number 7 in my QVC British Beauty series, and number 7 is Keira Knightley, and I can honestly say this is my favourite makeup look out of all of the makeup looks in the series. It's a little bit different for me as well because it's very kind of matte skin, and normally I go for a more dewy kind of skin, but I actually really like this look, especially for summer because it's very, very matte skin and then bronze smoky eyes. Yeah, so I don't use very many products. It's a really, really simple look to do, and I think it's really great for summer as well because it's kind of like a little bit of a softer alternative to the traditional black smoky eye being bronze. It's a bit more summery, so yeah, I really like it. So if you want to know how I did it, then keep watching. So to get Keira's really, really matte complexion, I'm going to be using Bare Minerals matte foundation. Now, I originally shied away from Bare Minerals foundation because I've got quite dry skin. I always just thought, oh no, it will just make my skin look really dry and it just won't go. But it actually isn't drying at all, and the matte variety, even though I'm not a massive fan of matte finish, will work really, really well for this look. So I'm just using the colour Light, which I believe is W14 as well, on a Bare Minerals foundation brush, and I'm just going to start buffing this into my skin. If you haven't used Bare Minerals foundation before, you get a little bit in the lid, just like kind of one tap in the lid of there, swirl the brush in it, tap off any excess, and then just buff it into the skin. And kind of the more you buff, the more coverage you get. Okay, so once I've done the foundation, I'm going to use a little bit of concealer just kind of under my eyes because I do have quite big under eye dark circles today. I don't know why, I must be tired. So I'm going to use the Gemma Kid Wrinkle Rescue and Brightener. Now, this is actually marketed, has one end as a serum and one end as a concealer, but even though it is marketed as like an anti-wrinkle thing, I absolutely love this. Just put a little bit of that serum underneath your eyes, and that just fills in any of the kind of fine lines you have under your eyes. I'm only 22, so I obviously don't have huge, huge wrinkles, but I am starting to get a few fine lines underneath my eyes. So I think that just really helps to kind of even it out, and then the concealer is slightly pink toned as well, so it cancels out any of that grey under your eyes. I'm just going to take a little bit of this onto my eyelids as well, just to conceal any of the veins that you can see there. And after I've done that, I'm just going to take Laura Geller's Concealer Duo and just conceal any blemishes that I have with the more yellow tone concealer there on a concealer brush. Just on my chin is where I tend to get most of my blemishes. Okay, so after I've done that, I'm going to move on to the brows, and I'm going to be using Mali's 24/7 Brow Express is what it's called. And this is actually a little bit more of a dark colour than I would normally use, as you can see there. It is quite dark. So I'm really going to kind of intensify the colour of my brows. I'm not going to extend them too much because for the shape of my face, putting any kind of more substantial sized brow on doesn't really work, but you can kind of play around with it as much as you can just to kind of fit it to your own face. Obviously, when you do kind of celebrity inspired makeup tutorials, if you try and make yourself look like somebody else, often it doesn't work, so you have to kind of adapt it to what you want to look like. So I'm going to just darken up my brows a little bit rather than extending them too much. I have quite patchy brows as well, so I'm just going to fill them in with the powder, and this actually has two ends, so the powder is on this end and there's a little pencil on the other end. So I'm going to fill in the colour with the powder and then go in with the pencil just to define the shape a little bit more. I'm just going to take a brow comb and just comb through just to soften that colour a little bit and just keep the hairs in place. That's about as far as I'm going to go towards the kind of Keira eyebrows. So I'm going to move on to the eyes, which is the most kind of dramatic part of this look. I'm just going to zoom in. And the eyes for this look are actually going to be really easy. I'm going to start with a cream shadow, and I'm using Brown Sugar by Bobbi Brown, which is a long wear cream eyeshadow, and it's really gorgeous, but it's actually fairly sheer, but we're going to build it up, and I'm just going to use my finger just to apply this to the eyelid, and you can do this quite roughly, just all over the eyelid, and then kind of blend it up with your finger into the crease. And you don't want to take it much further out than your outer corner. Just keep it kind of around the eye, and then just go in with another layer. And I'm going to do about 3 layers of this just to kind of intensify that bronze colour. Once I've got that colour on the lid, I'm just going to take the same colour, and using a pencil brush, I'm just going to take it underneath the lower lash line too. And you want to take it all the way into the inner corner. Then once I've got that base colour down, I'm just going to keep using the same brush. And I'm going to be using a slightly grey eyeshadow on there. This is actually kind of on the green side of grey. This is Smoke from Bobbi Brown again. And I'm just going to put this into the outer corner of the eye and then into the crease a little bit as well, just to give a little bit of definition to the eye and just to kind of darken up the look. But again, you want to keep to the shape of the eye. You don't want to go any further out or wing it out or anything. Just keep it very rounded. Take a little bit underneath those lower lashes and take it about halfway in. Then I'm going to take a clean blending brush and just start to blend this colour in so you don't have any too harsh lines. Once I've done that, I'm going to take my trusty angled liner brush and a gel eyeliner. I'm using Bobbi Brown's Espresso Ink, which was a very, very, very dark brown. And I'm just going to line the upper lash line. Just a kind of medium thickness line. And I'm not going to take it out any further than where the lashes end either. You want to take it right into the inner corner. And then I'm also going to take a little bit underneath the lower lashes. Just kind of smudge what's left on the brush along the lower lashes. I'm going to take a little bit of gel liner in my waterline. Gel liner stays on your waterline for the longest out of any kind of liner. And if you're on holiday or if it's summer and you're really hot, it can be really, really useful if you want to keep that really dramatic dark look all day. I'm just going to put that along the top there as well. I'm just going to apply some mascara. I'm using Daniel Sandler's Jumbo Jet mascara. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm pretty much finished for the eyes. I'm just going to zoom out and finish off the face. Okay, so to finish off the look, I'm just going to take a little bit of bronzer, and I'm going to be using Bare Minerals All Over Face Colour in Faux Tan, which is a really kind of deep colour. As you can see, we've been joined by Woof, who is currently asleep. I'm going to take a slightly tapered face brush and a little bit of this and just take it, instead of using a blush, I'm just going to put this where the sun would naturally catch my face, just to give me a little bit of colour. Because while Keira is quite pale, she also has kind of a little bit of a bronze look to her skin too. So I'm just going to kind of blend that colour in. Okay, so to finish off the look and give you those kind of big bee-stung Keira Knightley lips, or at least help your lips look slightly more like Keira Knightley's, I'm going to be using Doo Wop's Lip Venom, and this is the pink shimmer version. Because in the look I'm using for inspiration for this, Keira does have a slight kind of pinky gloss on her lips. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or anything, and I'll see you soon. Bye!